So previously we have been deploying software with using the PDQ inventory like this one, and what if we want to get the information from all the computers? For example, on my floor in my office there are 200 computers, and what if you have to like go and find different and recently, just like a month ago, all the computers were gradually upgraded from Windows 7 to Windows 10. And what if you have to check like requirements? Does this computer, all these computers, do they or any single one is able, has enough, meet the requirements, has enough hardware to actually support the Windows 10? So how you do that? The one way is you actually go to each and every single one computer. Imagine 200 computers. You have to go to each and every one of them and sit down, log in, check you right click here on the PC, and then you go through the system. What's the processor, how many RAM has it, and then you have to actually get a little bit of information here, and then you have to right click go into actually computer and see what this base looks like. It has enough free space to upgrade all that. Imagine you have to do it for 200 computers, and then you have to actually write it down somewhere like a ledger or a copy notebook. Imagine, and it's just one floor. Our building is 5 floors. So, and then either you have our building is 24/7, but if it's not, then you have to work at night, or you have to actually either excuse the person, sit on the computer and do all that, or you have to wait when the person is off, then you go and sit on his computer and check. But it's very tiresome, and it's not efficient. So for efficiency, this little software, this PDQ inventory, basically it runs using your Active Directory domain username. It logs into every computer automatically and silently without disrupting any user. It gathers all the data, not only about hardware and but also the software as well. You see, we have different softwares, and it actually get everything and stores in it, and then you can view it. Let's see, we're gonna run it, double click it. It's same like you have to go to their website, fill out a form, and then you can download it. This one I'm using the free one. Actually, you will not be able to see my whole screen, so I'm gonna move it here. Alright, so let's bring it here. So you see, it automatically picked my server because I'm running it from the server, and it gives you a little bit option like it has also picked up my domain as well, because during the setup process it asked me for it automatically picked up the domain and asked me for the username. So you have to give it an admin rights account. It could be anything, administrator, or you create a help desk account and give it rights, or you create a special user named inventory, give it like special rights, are the admin rights, so it can log into every computer on the domain and get all that information. So you see what kind of information you can get. It will sniff for Internet Explorer. That's a software. It will see what kind of memory they have, the .NET framework version, Office, PowerShell, servers, like how many in that environment, in the network, how many servers or work groups, workstation right here. So it got everything, like now once we add and scan, then you see everything is 0 or 1 at least. That one is based on this computer on server. You see there is a one server and we are running it server, but there's nothing against workstation because we haven't added them and ran the first scan. So once we add all them and scan, these numbers will change. So let's add the computers. It's very easy. You go to, this is the add computer and this one is the scan. So we click on add and you see Active Directory, just like PDQ Inventory. It connects with your Active Directory and very easy. So you see we're here by the computer names. You see this my Active Directory, and this one is if you see, it's not giving the computer names, it's giving their DNS, like their address, web addresses. So we know this is server, this test, add it. Then you see test2 machine right there, add it. Then you see Windows 10, that's the machine. This one right here, right there, add it. This one's up Windows 7 laptop. I have shown it on a different video. I am not showing it, like I'm not making that movie with the cell phone. So but it's on, I see it's on my left. This is Windows 7 PC, it's this one right here. And then finally it's Windows 8. It's right now somebody's using it in another other room. So you see I can simply quietly add it, scan it, and then I don't have to go and disturb that person and ask him to can you please let me use it for a while, and then I try to get all that information. So I can simply run it from my server while I'm not disturbing that person. They can do whatever they want on they're doing on that computer. Simply I'm going to run it here and it will get me all the information that I need. We click OK. Right, see it says online, it's checking. And look at the scan status, it's queued. So it checked everything, all the machines are online. If some machine is offline, like if I turn off one machine, you will not see it will not stay yes, it will be a grayed out. And so you see all of them, they're getting connected. It already picked up the OS. I should have alright, so we got this one. It says the account name is invalid or does not exist. So this one is not good. I have to check Windows 7 laptop. I think that's because it's via Wi-Fi. Alright, so another one is not installed. So Windows 7 PC, it's giving an error. Computer details, it's still getting. So these are two like the errors. You can click on it and it will give you actions. Yeah, so you have to actually install .NET for it to work, but it's a good video. So you see what you can expect on that while you're running it. So if you see it, this one on Windows 8, so it's a really old machine, not as old as my laptop, but it's like I would say I bought it in 2012, so it's about 7 years old. It has ton of software installed and all that. I'm actually really looking forward to go dig deep into it and show you that how great this software is. But while it's running, I'm gonna go and try to see if I can hook up the cable to my laptop and see if it fixes that account thing. Alright, so it's still running the scan on the Windows 8 machine. It just got done. So I'm gonna try the laptop one more time. Scan computers. So let's see. Okay, connected and running. So that was it. For this software to work, it's not supposed to be over the Wi-Fi. It's supposed to be over hardwired connection. And again, it got the same thing, that .NET is not installed. Let's see if I can find it somewhere and install it. So Windows 7. I actually have to troubleshoot. Nope. I have to go to Ethernet. Type again, wrong thing. Alright, so this one is Google DNS because it's on local, and so now it will have internet. If you can see, it will say any moment now. You see it turned to internet, and now we can. So basically it will go to Google for all the web addresses, and for all the local machine it will go to the server. So let's see, download .NET framework, .NET 4.5.2 offline installer. That's good. What happened here? Download. Let's see if we can run it. Nope, it has to be saved. That's why I love the Internet Explorer, that you could actually run it. And again, and let's see if it works. Meanwhile, while it's down doing its stuff, let's go to PDQ and see what we can get out of this. So you see, it's just these two machines, that both Windows 7 that gave us error. Rest of them, they're all were successful. If you see that it's giving you the OS version, and for the server it's giving you, these are identical because if you remember, we used the from the other videos, these were all parts of the imaging, backups and restore, and this is the release version 1903. Uptime is very important. Basically it tells you how long the machine has been up and running. So you see, if my Windows 98 Windows 8, it's been up for 1 day now, because exactly around this time yesterday, last night, I had restarted that machine. So this otherwise it would have said some like crazy number, have been up for a month or something, or more maybe. So Windows 10 machine, it says 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, because I just fired up everything. These are all virtual machines. Alright, so let's go, and you see the current user, like who's the user right now, who's the logged in user. So the reason you see all this 3 names the same, because I can actually go back, and let's try that. Let's log out of this one and sign out, and if I change the user, we'll see who's the user over there. Let's and we'll see if we have to, so we have to run it again, and then it will get let's see, let's log out of this one as well, so I can show you different users are working on the computer. See, and the last one is which one it is, this one, test. Let's sign out of it and log in as, what is it, Brock. Alright, so if I scan, we have to scan one more time because remember we are just adding the Windows 7 .NET frameworks, so that's a good thing. So let's get back to our, so it gives you all the OS version over here and then the users over here. When I'm gonna rescan it, you will see that these users will change. Next in here, if you see, it will tell you the successful scan date. For example, the different computers were different times. It will tell you the last time, or the successful, when was the successful. You see it was not successful, so there is nothing. I am assuming that once it's installed and scan it, it's gonna change the date and time here. Like the date will stay, but time will different. We should try that as well. And then it's a manufacturer model. You see, this is one saying is virtual machines. All of them are virtual. So for this machine, it will say something for, I think it's the vendor name or model number, the internal model number for that. It's an HP machine. It's a serial number, all of them, memory. This is the interesting part. So you see, if you remember when we were creating those virtual machines, I will always give them different numbers. That was the preparation for this video, that I wanted to give it different memory so we can see them here differently. And that's why you can see that this machine has 4 GB, that's the server. But then the Windows 10 was the first machine, I gave it 4 GB. Then when I first created these first image, it was test2, I gave it half of that, 2 GB. And then we created the last during the last imaging or backing up, we created this machine test2, so I gave it half of the second one. So they kind of gives us an idea. And about you can see Windows 8, it was 8 GB, like it's an actual machine, physical. Another interesting thing is the CPU. We know that this my test machine, that I run all the virtual machines and do my labs. It's a newer AMD Ryzen 7 2700, so that's how it all the virtual machine gets the same name. But this Windows 8 machine, you can see I bought it in 2012, so it has a 3rd generation Core i5 CPU. I'll take a show here, so it gives you a little idea. But if let's see what's going on. 7, okay, almost done. So back to PDQ Inventory. Now if you look at on this side, if you see the numbers have changed, there's no longer saying 0 on everything, right? It's saying 7 machines, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 are allowed to be scanned. It found only 1 on Internet Explorer. What Internet Explorer is? 11, and I'm guessing it will be on 11 should be on the server. So if I go here and I try to search Internet Explorer, I think you have to, oh no, you have to enable it somewhere, because by default Windows 10 does not use Internet Explorer, or does not even recognize it as a browser. Now you would say, hey, it's right there. Basically what the Microsoft has done is that they want Edge to be your browser, and Internet Explorer is only for enterprise edition thing. Because if you when you work in a big company, you will see that we run a lot of intranets. So intranets are the website that you host locally, and even though if those websites are massive, like you will not believe how much data is being produced and generated and utilized there. It's all for internal use. So you go and do 8 hours worth of work every person on that website, and still it's only for inside the company, it's not for general public. So for like if the companies they were running an old server or old scripts or anything, and they are not able to run it on Edge, so for that Internet Explorer 11 is there on enterprise editions of Windows 10 to support it. So that's why I think it did not get in anything over here, and we did not see anything because Windows 7 did not Windows 7 machines, or 8 for that matter. It says Internet Explorer 5 and picks up only 1. What happened to other 4s? That's I'm missing something. Like, why? I know for Windows 7 were not scanned, but Windows 8 got scanned, and I know Internet Explorer installed there. Okay, so for memory, still it did not get all the other machines memory. It took only server 19. I'm assuming this software is either buggy or it's not giving the full information, like there's some kind of restriction, and that's why it's acting up, or .NET framework is not installed on other machines, something like that. On 6 machine .NET is installed, and those are this 6 machine, 1 2 3. Okay, that's missing system with .NET. It's okay. Will be more clear once Windows 7 machines have that, and if Internet Explorer gets and we get the RAM out of them, then we'll go ahead and install .NET on our Windows 10 machines as well. None of the computers have installed Microsoft Office, though I know that I installed it on Windows 8, and it show up. Like, see, oh, it's still updating. You see, Windows 8 just showed up, and I saw that this just turned to 1. So it's either I'm clicking and it's picking up membership updating right here. Oh, okay, so even though it has I know what's happening. So basically you see the memory came here too as well. So, and 4 GB or less, all the machines are print. Oh, okay, so I figured it out. The software is not buggy. You have to actually click on each and every one of it, and then it populates it for you. Like Internet Explorer, or I told you it's Enterprise Edition thing, and you see it's on every one of them. Internet Explorer, it got on all of them. I will go and check, make sure that it is 11 on Windows 8. Internet Explorer 6 is not there. I know it's for Windows XP. 7 membership updating. So if you see, it will say membership updating here when you click on something. Like for when I click on, let's click on something new. Let's click on Office. I know that Office. So yes, Office is there. So 5 machines have installed it. 2 machine it's missing, it's showing up here, and we just have I think Windows 7 is done with the. So I'm starting to like this software more and more. It just you know, you have to run it and see how this works, and I'm glad I did. And if you're watching my video, you will be glad as well, because you learned something. It's not like we were I was thinking that it will show up every here, but no, you have to actually click on each link here for it to show. It will say membership updating here, and then it will show up here. So we'll see. Note standard shares, like these machines, online system, all of them are online. PowerShell is only on. Okay, so you see membership updating, and all these machines, they have PowerShell. And reboot required. We'll see if this number changes. membership updating. No machine requires a reboot right now. It's like if somebody to see if some softwares or updates were done and that machine needs to be rebooted, or it will reboot anytime soon. Require .NET to scan. I think 2 will show up, the Windows 7 machine, and they did. So we know server is 1. Let's see, membership updating, system with smart card readers, none. My Windows 8 would have populated over here, but the HP motherboard, somehow it was acting up, so I got an ASUS motherboard and basically replaced the motherboard on that Windows 8.1 machine over there. So we have 6 workstations, yes, and 3 of them are running Windows 10. We know 2 of them are Windows 7. This one is a virtual machine, this is a physical lab. Windows 8 is saying 0. It should say 0 because even though that machine was in 8, I upgraded to Windows 8.1 and now it's saying 8.1, and there's no Vista on my thing. So this is pretty darn neat. Let's go to our local log scan. Now I want to scan everything, all of them, so I can show you the user chain here, but I want to first see if I can individually scan them. Like if I just scan it, and it say scan, and this will say give me the same exact error message. It's saying membership updating over there. It's connecting. Running. Alright, so now it's running. It's not giving us the error. That one, it's on my laptop on my left. How long is the video? It's already a half an hour long video. I'm glad I did this and I learned it. I'm taking this course on this website. It's if you see while it's running, I'm going to show you something. You should do it too. It's the content is old but invaluable. This guy he put a lot of effort, thought, and basically he's a genius. All I can say that he understood that there is a need for real world things and not the textbook. He went and created this site. I love this site. Alright, so I was not able to log in. I don't know why. Oh, my information should be saved on this one. Okay, sign in. Alright, so it's still running, and I think it's running only for this computer. That's the laptop. It's taking its time. So if you can go to this website, take these courses, especially this one. Active Directory is very great course. I am making all these videos from this one. Like, it's one thing to watch a video, but it's entirely different thing to experience it. And you can either wait to go to a job or something and then learn it over there, but before that, if you're in an interview and they're asking a question and then you're failing them, they will get an idea that you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm glad I found the site, and then I looked up these videos, and when I was watching them I was saying, yeah, I got it. But like 3 days later I had no idea about, hey, what was that step. So what I did is I started making these virtual machines and installing everything on them and doing it first thing. So it's a good thing. I'm glad I did that. My laptop is hanged. It's not responding. I don't know why. So let's run on. I don't want to right now. This video is getting longer and longer. I wanted to keep it like 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes. I thought I will be done like fairly quickly. I should pause the video here. I've run out of stuff to say, so I'm gonna pause the video here, and when it's done I'm gonna resume it, and then we'll see like it was for just one machine on it, or it updated everything over here. So let's pause it. Alright, so you see it took some time, but it's done, and now you can see that it updated the time that it has been up, and the time is updated from for only this machine. So it ran only the scan time for this, so all these things that you see is at the time the scan was run. So now we see that when I click on an individual one and then run scan, it only scans for that computer and does not scan for everything, all the computers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run the scan for everyone, and let's do that. Click on this one, standard, and oh, it got scanned for. So you have to select all of them and then scan standard. Now everything is queued. It's saying connected because it started earlier. You see quickly the uptime got updated. It got that right, as now there are different things that connecting and getting scanned and all that. Windows 7 PC, this one, the 7 PC, oh, that account is not being honored. That is something. Alright, so see all these username, they changed according to who is logged on at that machine, and this will take a while. Let's go to our Windows 7 machine here and log out of this one, GW Bush. Let's see if we have how to log off. And switch user. Do we have Aslan? Nope. Do we have Imran over there? We do. So now we're gonna see if this user is honored, as in from the Active Directory, because the user Bush, I cannot find it in under like general. I remember creating it. When I search for it, I find it, but when I click on users, it does not appear there. While it's logging in, let me show you. So on my here, everything, like if I go to tools and Active Directory, Windows 7 still welcoming us. So you see, if I click on users, we don't see anything for GW Bush, right? Nothing. But when I go here, search, and I click on Bush, and I say fine, there's nothing in users. But when I find it, It's a user. Where it is, I don't know. Like where I created it. I'm pretty sure if it's not inside user, then I created it in environment on local. So if I go here, like if I click here, it's right there. Oh, okay. So I need to move it. Alright, so let's move it. Copy, move into users, and now it should be in there. Right there, GW Bush. Alright, so that was it. Again, I'm thankful that I decided that to install all these machines and play with them, and my Windows 7 is still welcoming me. Let's go. While it's doing that, let's go to Windows 8 thing. We don't want to waste any more time. The video is already 36 minutes long, so I'm gonna scan that machine later on, but let's fire up the PDQ, and now I want you to show you something. This is if you have to run reports. You see right here, you can run reports, application, like you can run an application report, Chrome, and it will show you which computers have installed Chrome. Server has it, test 2, Win 10, Windows 7. Every machine has Chrome. Which machine has Firefox? No, Win 8.7 server does not have Firefox. So this is all of your backup we installed only on one computer. Test 2, Win 10, but they are clients, not the server. So you can basically run all kind of reports from here. Now you can run a report on display, like from this report it will tell you what kind of display you have. Obviously they are all same because most of them are virtual machines. Laptop has generic because it's built in. This one is display. It's basically a monitor, so it would basically over here you should see all the monitors in your like in on my floor we have 4 different kind of monitors. The old one, Dell one, the newer, relatively newer widescreen. Then we have 2 kind of HP monitors, one being the 1080p and one the older ones. So you get all of them here. So this is how you run the reports on hardware devices, what hardware you have, all that. You can see display adapters, floppy, and keyboards, all that. You see different keyboards. This is Microsoft, and this one PS2 remote desktop, all that. What kind of network adapter you have. Intel Wi-Fi link, yeah, this is a Hyper-V one, but then on that machine over there has a Realtek, and you see the 2 different ones. So you get all of the information from just sitting on this server. And memory modules, so you see this is the capacity, speeds, different speeds, and it's only giving us for the basically this one, laptop and Windows 8 over there, physical machines. So operating system, what we have Windows 10, 7, 8.1 and server. So you get all of them here. But what if you want, oh, I should not have done that. Let's see what's going on. 7, ask me later, cancel. So where is it? Windows 7. So what if you want to run like you want to dig on single computer, you want to get all the information for that one single logical disk. I was looking for it, like how many hard drives you have, what kind of file system they have. So you see everything is NTFS. This one is 1.5 terabyte. Obviously like about 2-3 or more is saved for the recovery disk, so that's why it's lower than that. So all of them. And this one is I think this I read it, I'm forgetting. There is a very small drive for some reason over there. It's for like recovery or for the storage of partial temporary files, something like that. So all of these we know, we already always give 50 GB, so these are the them. This one is 320 GB, again it's giving us around 300. So this is how you can run the reports. But now I want to go and specially dig a single computer. Internet Explorer 8. Oh, now you see the Internet Explorer 8 just came for Windows 7. So on this machine the Internet Explorer version is 8. Alright, so let's go to our Windows 8.11. We want to run a report on this one. So for that it's like scan collection, all that. Tools, event viewer, PDQ deploy, reboot. We can reboot and shut down it from here. We'll try with the laptop. Remote assist, I don't know how this works. I'm thinking it's same like the other Windows remote assist. Remote desktop, I think you should see everything on their desktop. We use it, but we have a different software. It's go to assist. Well, we can run the command. I think it's something to do with like if a computer is asleep, you can wake it up. But what I was looking for, run report, right here. So we want to run reports on this computer. We want to see what the kind of application, display, all that. So let's click on display, and we got the display. Close it. I want to run a report up. What will happen if I double click on it? Okay, alright, so this is what I was looking for. So I was looking for this one, like I don't have to go and run each one, each report. It gives me a full detail of all the thing. So here, this part is Active Directory, this one is the general one. You see it has Windows 8, been up and running. This one, it's local IP address. So again, I don't have to go and log into each computer and then run the ipconfig command to get the IP address. I can get everything from here. MAC addresses, very important, especially if you are filtering devices. Then you don't go by the IP address, even though you have assigned static IP addresses. You still want to go with the MAC address. That's the more secure way if you are filtering devices, what they can do, or do you want to block access and all that. Time zone, keep looking on the left side as well. System, like this one was the Active Directory information. The memory, 8 GB, processor, you see i5. It's a desktop, it's not a laptop. On the laptop, when we go, hopefully it will say something else over here. It's against the chassis. You see BIOS version, very important. So for BIOS you have to run a software and then get it. So imagine if you have 200 computers, you have to go each one, run that software, and then note it down. It's American Megatrends. There are only 2 BIOS manufacturer, one being American Megatrend, other one I don't remember the name. I had it, but it's been a long day. Alright, so operating system, you see everything. We saw a little bit of information already. Now you see PowerShell version, scanning, yes, all that. And needs to boot, no. So this computer has not updated anything that will require it to reboot soon. Alright, so all these yellow locks, these are for the paid version, so we're not going in. Application, what is installed on it? I am a big Age of Empires fan, so you'll see I have everything installed related to Age of Empires. I'm surprised this game is right here, Age of Empires Online. It came and it's obsolete. Install date, remember 2013, I had installed it back then. So I love this game. So if you remember, I have a brother printer from my other video. I install it over the network. This is the keyboard. I have Cyberlink Media over there. I never used it. Demon Tools, Daily Motion, and so you have all the softwares here. Now if you want to install quickly, this the Quark wallet, this was a coin mining thing, Plex Media Server, VLC. So for example, if this is a filter, like if you want to quickly see if this computer has that program, you can click age and it will show you what is there, age, and if you click off, it will keep narrowing down it for you. So yeah, this computer has it. The next one we want to like go to CPU information. It's more detailed, L2, L1 cache, L3 cache, disk drive. I told you it's 1.5 or more, so 13, and you see right there, it's free. Now display, it give you the Dell 27-inch monitors. Environment, I don't know what it is. It's something different things. Alright, so this is like all the hardware that's in there, whether it's inside the chases or it's attached to it. For example, disk drives, keyboard. Is it showing my brother printer? Print queue right there. So any hardware that is attached to that, whether external or internal, lists here. Hotfixes like Windows updates. Hotfixes what are installed, like if you know that hey, there's something that needs to be updated and you don't, of course you have to go to that machine to check or install. You can check it from here, and if it you know the number, you match it, and okay, it's installed. I don't have to go and install on this one or push to that computer. Local groups, like just like Active Directory, there's a local group directory where it's list all the local groups and users in there. You see users, members, and all that. And this is the local user, like how many users are there. The other one is memory module. On that computer there are 2 modules. It's total 8 GB, but there are 4 each. NIC driver, this one is like it's connected with the Hyper-V. For the Active Directory, it says disconnected, and this one is the real physical one over there. And you see PCI Realtek. Printer, I have a brother printer, and these are all neat I will say virtual printers, especially no, it's not there, but I think from Chrome you can go to the print command, and rather than to send it to a printer, you can save it as a PDF. That's pretty neat. So processes, what processes are going on, it's gonna go check and populate it, so I'm not gonna wait for it. Scans, when we did scan, if you remember, we scanned it twice. One at that time and then the other, like, so it's telling you all the lost scans. Services, what services are installed there. Shares, like what drivers, sorry, what folders are shared there. I know this one is shared, and this one is shared. I made those shares, and the other one are like, I think the Windows print drivers and all that. Windows services shared something. Windows features, what features are installed and enabled. So I see, and so this is the idea. Now if we have to, before we run another scan, what if I want to see if how many computers have Firefox? So we go to, I think here, and click on Firefox. I think Firefox. Nope, it's not very helpful, is it? I think if I run a report about the application, application, and then run Firefox. It will show me what computer have Firefox, and if I run age, it will show me what has age of. So that's how you run the report, and then you can save it or you can print it, save right there. All right, so this is all. Let's go and run it, run the scan one more time on all the computers. Allow scans, again this count. Let's run all of them together. We just have to. Now we see my machines, they are logged off. Let's see if it will work when a machine is logged off. I hope Windows 7 is not. No, it's not. So run. Let's give this machine login, and let's see if what it will say, logged in or logged out. Yes, it's I think it skipped all of them, or 1 hour 2 minutes. I think no, they got scanned. Everything got scanned. It says locked. Oh, so if you see, when the scan ran, they were locked out. Like those users, they logged out, go to the break, lunch, or they were out for a meeting. They locked their computers, and you see this one is this user is locked. This user is logged in, but he has locked his computer. So we know that who is actually running and working on that computer and who is not. Ignore this second. I use the same count on the laptop. We can ignore that. So you see Windows 7 PC just got scanned as well. It got this username different, and it says virtual machine, all that good stuff. So this was it. It's all in all, it's pretty neat software, especially for learning. If you're running a small like network, a home or something like a small office, you should have this software. But if you have a home group, work group, and you don't have a server and active directory, all thing, you can still use this software. It doesn't matter. For example, there was this office that had 10 computers. It was a 2-story building, and they have all the computers, work group connected. But remember, this software does not work over the Wi-Fi, so you have to run the cables everywhere. So what you can do is you can run that this software on all the work groups. Make sure that each computer has an account, exactly the same account, exactly the same username, and exactly the same password, and you will be able to run this software. But then you will not be able to add computers via Active Directory. You will have to go and add them. Like you have to make a small notebook, name them those computers, write those names, and then you can add them by name. And when you do that, for example, if you click on Win 7 and you click add, it's checking, cannot be found. So let's see. Oh, that was Win 7 laptop, Win 7 dash laptop, and if you click it, it can check and it found it. So you have to know the exact name, and it will go on your network and find that computer and then add it. So that's how, if you want to run this software on a work group where you don't have a server and you don't have an Active Directory. So just make sure that each computer has a, for example, it has an account, a user account that's named inventory, and it on each computer it has the exact same password. And then when you add all of those computers and give that credentials, inventory and so on, password, it will actually go to each computer, log in with that username. It has to have admin rights, scan it, and get you all the data, if you have to. But if you're going to all that trouble, you have 10 computers, just install Active Directory. It's much easier, but sometimes it's not possible. Alright, so thank you for this watching for this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, and liked all my silly mistakes and how I fixed them, and I don't know if I was quick enough to fix them. Please rate it, comment, subscribe, share, and you have a good night. By the time I'm thinking to, all right, it's just that I'm thinking I lab every night, so I should rename my channel to Lab Every Night. All right, so have a good night.